So let's go ahead and get
All
started.
right, all right, all right.
all right. Um,
Yeah.
so the last time, because it's been a while since we've played, about 2 months actually. Last time we played, I remember that we had jumped through the telephone lines at the nightclub in New Jersey, and you guys
Yeah.
had made your way out of the telephone into New Mexico, where you did a little bit of exploring at the Bonsai Hotel. You found a scene of absolute carnage. You followed some tracks out into the desert where you found a dead agent of the United States government. Looked like a special forces person clutching a case. When you got there, you ended up getting attacked by this guy in a black suit. And he had some gnarly magical powers. Death managed to decapitate them, or I should say, Alistair managed to decapitate them, and did all kinds of creepy edgelord type stuff with the head on his walk back to the hotel,
How dare you?
where the head started talking again. Energy started spiking off of it, and things started happening around the hotel. The head was dropped, the case was clutched, and everybody jumped through the phone again. Does that sound about
The
right?
head was dropped on the ground, and then I turned a trash can upside down over top of it, so it would have a real fun time getting its body back.
Okay. So that sounds about
when
right,
we
though.
transferred through the telephone line, we blew that phone up or whatever.
Oh, that's right.
Did the magic.
Yeah,
Yeah, he ripped the cord out of the wall.
us back through.
cord was ripped out of the wall. I remember that now. All right. Well, you guys are out of the phone, and you are in the nightclub office with a phone ripped out of the wall. Go.
And remember, I told them that I told the head nocturne something about Lord Moloch, and he was very concerned.
Oh yes, yes. He was practically he wasn't crapping his pants, but he was like, "Oh, this is not freaking good at all." Like, if you've seen a person crap their pants, this is about as close as they could get without actually doing it. Like, you just dropped the motherload of bad news. This was like telling somebody that their dog got run over, they got fired, and their significant other got caught in bed with a hooker at the local Motel 6 on the 6 o'clock news. Like, every bad expression was across this person's face. Are you going to be ordering us a pizza?
No. So
Oh.
I'm sorry. I put that. It was not on speaker for the record. I didn't think you could hear that.
Yeah, we heard it.
We heard every little bit of it. $75, huh?
My
Heard it
apologies.
all.
Yeah. Just trying to put in an order for tomorrow for groceries, but I just wanted to know how much money I had because you're gonna need to know that thing. I didn't think you could hear it. My apologies. Continue.
It's on you guys now. I've laid the scene out. There's not really a whole lot I can. Not much more I can do now.
What time is it right now?
It is in the early evening hours. Probably 7, 8 o'clock at this point.
We have 2 more destinations to go. The first wasn't Princeton. Was it Princeton?
I
The school that
think it was Rutgers.
Rutgers. That's what I was thinking. It was Rutgers. 'Cause I can't find my little notebook for it. I had it all written down.
Shit.
But that's the next destination, or because it was fairly close. The two of them were close to where we are now, and then there was the one out in the desert,
Yeah.
which we got.
I can't remember what the other one was at this point. I apologize. That's terrible. And I don't have I can't find my notebook where I have it written down. Wow.
Hold on, I think I found mine.
Bad DM.
I did
Bad
find
DM.
mine. I did find mine. Hold on. Let me see.
And do I still have my car? Where's my car?
Your car
Your
is
car's
outside
outside.
here. Yeah, you do have your car here.
The Smithsonian is where we find the
Smithsonian.
Tiamat stuff. And then we found Apsu already in New Mexico, and Ishtar is at Rutgers.
There we go.
So we have two choices, guys. We can go to Rutgers and deal with I can't remember what their names are, but they're the intelligence gatherers group. And then the Smithsonian, and we don't really know what we're going to be finding there.
What do you guys think we should do?
Are you
'Cause
asking?
that head that was still talking while it was decapitated has got me a little wigged out, and I'm sorry if I went a little off the deep end there, but I've never been presented with that set of circumstances before, and it was strange. And I'll leave it
Well,
at
there's nothing normal about any of this day.
No.
I mean, we went to another plane of existence. We've traveled through a telephone. We can change into creatures. There's nothing normal about this day.
no, definitely not.
So, also, what did we get in this box?
Yes. You open these boxes, and you open this box, actually, boxes. You open the box, and inside there are 5 bracelets.
Can you describe what they look like?
Yes, I can. They are a combination of old metalworking and stoneworking. Like, they look absolutely ancient. Smooth, carved stone. Each one's a different color. There's a green one, a blue one, kind of like a earth tone-ish brown looking one. The green one looks like jade. I don't know. Like, the blue one's not sapphire. It looks like blue stone, not turquoise, but like a dark, deep blue. There is one that does look like turquoise as well, and the last one it's white with kind of like a opalescent sheen to it. It's like a long bar of curved stone, metal clasps, copper, pewter, something. It was some old looking hard metal, and then a couple more pieces of the stone that are curved going underneath with a chain that loops them together. They're otherwise unremarkable. They don't have any weird carvings on them. Like, they look like just stone and metal work bracelets.
These must be something off or odd to find them in the clutches of a dead government agent. Something's definitely going on with them. I wish we could. Is there any senses that we have that can detect anything different or strange about them?
Certain Nightbane powers might. Does anybody have premonition?
Yes, I do have premonition.
Premonition could be useful here.
Yeah. I will change into my Morphus,
Okay.
and I will pick up the blue bracelet.
Ah, okay. S-
Hey, would archaeology be good here? I have like 37% archaeology. And fishing.
Fishing, no. Archaeology, yes. You would definitely be able to get some additional information with archaeology. Picking up that blue bracelet and activating premonition, you get a quick flash of what this could do. You see yourself put the bracelet on, and a shimmer kind of goes around your entire body. And when that flashes forward a little bit later, you don't see the shimmer around you. You're walking down a street and you hear a gunshot and you see the shimmer kind of like activate around you as the bullet's about to hit.
Okay.
You get the sense that this thing's providing you some kind of magical shielding. in that event. Archaeology. What is your skill percentage in archaeology?
37%, please. Thank you very much.
37%. Okay. On the bottom of the first screen, do you see the dice tray?
Yes.
Go ahead and click the D100, which is the one all the way to the right. $56. So you failed your check for archaeology, but it's not a complete and utter failure. You are able to get some information about this. With your studying and your expertise in the field, you know at least that these things are Sumerian in time frame, or possibly even older than that. But they do give you kind of, hey, this looks like something Sumerian-ish that I saw when I was studying back in school.
Let's see if there's anything else useful. English literacy probably don't count.
What was that? I'm sorry?
English literacy? Literacy English?
No, that's not going to help you here. That would help with like if you found a book or something that related to literature or something. But in this event, no. Sorry, that one's not going to help.
Okay. I know it's Sumerian. You guys, these things are really fucking old.
Yeah, I get that. I'm going to set the blue one back in, and what was the next color?
Man, I should have wrote this down. We'll go with white.
Okay. And I will pick it up and use my premonition.
Blue. Jade. Okay. The white one, you put it on. You don't put it on. You do your premonition thing, and you get the sense of, if you had put it on, you see yourself able to throw a lightning bolt from your hand.
Interesting.
Okay. The next one down the line.
Let's see. There was jade. There was turquoise. And then earth colored. And I will just assume that you're going to go through these down the line.
Yeah.
The jade one. this one goes on, and when you look into the future, if you were to use this one, you get the feeling, and you see an image of you being able to create a barrier in front of you. And you were using it to block a doorway. It looked almost like branches and leaves kind of just shooting up out of the ground and blocking the path.
Gotcha.
The Earth one, this actually looks like you see an image of things chasing you, and with the bracelet on, you make a gesture, and the Earth like actually grabs the feet of the person or creature that's chasing you and holds it in place. It struggles for a little bit before it's able to break free, but it looks like it's acting as some kind of carpet of adhesion, almost.
Right.
Which will leave the turquoise one. This one is just like the lightning one, but instead it throws out a steady stream of water. And it knocked over the thing that was chasing you. And thing is a good description. It's got too many arms, too many legs, and a couple extra heads.
So, in summation, we have a bracelet that creates a bubble around you, a bracelet that puts a shield up in front of you, a bracelet that can hold a door, a bracelet that can use some type of earth binding, and a bracelet that can shoot lightning and water.
Correct.
Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Dibs on the one that shoots lightning and water.
Turquoise.
Oh, okay. If we're handing them out, if that's what we're doing with these things, and that fellow was looking for him, it's probably better that he finds the case empty, at bare minimum. Is there any way to tell if these are safe for us to use or eat or wear? They don't take some toll on the body?
Daniel,
I didn't.
yeah, I'll say you didn't get any sense in your premonition that would be the case. They seemed like they were perfectly safe, although you do get the feeling that it would be taxing to use them, and what that'll mean is they use some of your natural PPE, your potential psychic energy. It's not a huge amount, mechanically speaking. It's going to use 20 per activation of these things. And it depends on how much barrier you're creating. So the initial activation will cost some PPE. The lightning damage one, if you want to write this down or put it in a journal, the lightning damage one's 20 just to activate it. That is going to do a bolt of 3d6 lightning damage. You can amp that up to a maximum of 66, but it's going to cost an additional 10 for each level of amping. So up to an extra 30. So taxing, but not like to a sorcerer, this would be, substantial. To a Nightbane who has like 100-something PPE, this isn't as bad, but continued usage absolutely will be an issue. That is going to be the same for the water one as well. It's just that the one that does water also has a 60% chance to knock man-sized targets down prone, so they'd have to use an action to stand back up.
No, that's way too in depth. Never mind.
No, what's the question?
Well, my brain works in ways to break things.
Yeah.
And the thought was, well, what if you put that bracelet on, right? And then encase your arm in some sort of a tube, which had your bracelet and the arm in the tube, and then it narrowed the only way the water could go down to a much tinier stream.
No.
No, I don't think. Like I said, too much detail. That's
Yeah,
why
give me 1 second.
discounted it.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. I got to go grab another book off my shelf.
Yeah, you're good, homie. If anything, I'd probably be most interested in the book that does the earth grab, because as a swordsman, or somebody that uses tooth and claw, being able to stop an enemy in their tracks is pretty fucking good. So, yeah, sounds nice.
Six. All right. The barrier one. Because I'm pulling spells from games that are not Nightbane. All right. So the barrier one. This one costs 20 to activate. And it's going to give you an additional 10 points of SDC for each activation. I'm sorry, for each level that you have. This is a spell level 5, so the bracelet will give you 5 extra 50 extra SDC. Page.
What the fuck is happening on my computer right now?
Oh, I don't know, man. Did you give it herpes?
Like, it's not. No, my mouse is like the cursor's moving, but it's not interacting with anything.
Weird.
Try other mouse. I have 2 mouses plugged in, and the other one's just sitting here.
Okay.
That one seems to work just fine now.
And the earth tone one, this will lock a target firmly in place. It is single target, whereas a typical carpet of adhesion is like an area of effect. This functions like that, but it isn't that specifically. So on the activation, you can lock a single target in place, and the person or creature that you are locking gets to make a save versus magic. If they are successful, the player gets to roll 2 6-sided dice to see how many melee rounds it'll take for the person to pull free. If they fail their saving throw versus magic, they are stuck in place for 10 rounds.
That's dope.
Yep. These are pretty cool little artifacts.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, I'll take the earth grab one, because, like I said, as a swordsman, being able to immobilize your prey makes it much more difficult for them to evade your sword.
And you can only wear one of them too, so keep that in mind as well.
Right.
The magic of these things, the way they work, they only will allow you to wear one of them. They have a sort of magical sentience, even though they themselves aren't sentient items. They just have some sort of cancellation field.
Okay, question. How would that work in close proximity to another player?
Oh, that's fine. Because what it is they're feeding off of your energy. So close proximity to another player is fine. It's just more than one of these particular objects can't be drawing from or be tied to the energy of another creature.
Got it.
Okay, so if the activation effect or the activation cost of using these bracelets costs potential psychic energy,
Mm-hmm.
can human beings even use them? Do they have to be naturally psychic or something like that for them to be usable by a human?
So anybody with potential psychic, every creature has a certain amount of potential psychic energy. Now, most humans don't have the amount necessary to fuel one of these artifacts. However, a sorcerer, a magician, somebody like that would be able to, they become a living battery of potential psychic energy. They learn how to generate it and retain it within themselves. So a magician, a sorcerer, absolutely could use one of these. Most supernatural beings have a significant well of psychic energy. So most supernatural beings would be able to function as a battery, whether they have the ability and the knowledge to tap into something like this depends on what kind of creature it is.
That's fair. I was just wondering if they would have been like initially designed for someone like us. Like if they were out of the realm of a human to be able to use, and for them they were just jewelry. They wouldn't have ended up in a case in a government lab. But I was just wondering how often is it that a person could use them for a government to even want to mess with them? You know what I mean?
Well, that's something that I don't think you have the skills or the background to
No.
figure out as a character.
Right. I was just explaining. That's
Yep.
where I'm thinking. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be interesting to have, and that guy definitely wanted them pretty badly for a reason, and maybe we don't understand what that reason is, and I think that's a perfect reason to keep them out of his hands. So I'm down with that. Does anyone mind if I take the Earth Grab one?
Doesn't bother me.
Sweet, I put it on.
Okay.
Uh,
You feel a little tingle in your wrist as it locks in with you. What's going on now?
I asked Isabella which one she wants to use.
I'll take the one for water and lightning, please.
Okay.
And if anybody needs a shower, just let me know. I got you.
hit them with water, then lightning. They'll conduct the shit off you.
That means people have to work in conjunction.
Yeah, absolutely. The one that creates a shield in the air, how big would you say that shield is?
Daniel,
the blue one?
Yeah, Daniel, the shield one? Like the blue one? Yeah, that's a good question before I give that information over.
And also, can you affect in some manner the shape that shield takes?
Which one?
The shield that create the bracelet that creates a shield in the air in front of you.
The blue magical, the blue one with the magical shielding.
Okay, the blue one. So, Daniel, you got the feeling that it didn't create a shield in front of you so much as it enveloped you in a protective field.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. All right. Well, I'm good. I grabbed the Earth Grab one and popped it on, and I guess we'll let the others choose whenever they come back. We have the case, so just leave the other ones that are not chosen in the case for them. So would you
Right.
guys like to
I,
head to the university or to the museum place?
the Smithsonian.
Yeah, Smithsonian.
Um,
I've been there and I can't remember it. Fuck.
um,
I love the Smithsonian.
Me too.
It's
okay.
supposed to be unknown, right? So we don't know what's going. I mean, I like the religion, right? And museums. So I'm doing for the Smithsonian.
Yeah, that's where the artifacts of Tiamat are at, the dragon god. So I'm down for going to the Smithsonian.
All right, let's go
Okay.
to the Smithsonian.
All right.
Should we like call a call somewhere over there and like teleport, or are we trying to take the car?
Well, the car distance from Newark to the Smithsonian. That is a 3 hour and 3.5 hour drive.
Well, that's up to you guys then. How do you want to get there?
I mean, I say we take the phone.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, we're gonna have to find
quicker.
another phone though, because that one got ripped out of the wall.
Right.
But it shouldn't be challenging.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we'd need to call information first to get their phone number because they wouldn't be in any kind of phone book that we would have access to where we're at.
Probably not. No.
Is there? I mean, it's the year. What was it? 2000.
2006.
2006.
Okay.
I guess this is the internet's in full swing at this point, so we could also look it up online. We might even be able to find a place down there.
Are you
that's
sure?
vacant.
I thought it was 2001
Oh,
2001
now I'm
too.
gonna double look.
because I didn't think the.
Oh no,
the-
you're right. It was the year 2000. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
So there
Apparently
should.
our bad too, because we got it wrong as well.
Yep.
Because there would be plenty of phone booths still around.
Oh yes, yes there would.
Oh yeah. Let's just find a number for a phone booth somewhere near there.
Oh yeah, we just go to the phone booth. I'll dial, information and get the phone number for the Smithsonian.
I have a cell phone.
We do, but we don't have the internet for that thing yet.
No, but I mean, like when we have to make a call, I could probably make the call from the phone. We can figure out where to call.
Yeah, but that leaves your cell phone exactly where it's at. You'd have to leave it for us to go into it.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And I prefer, and I feel safer going through the telephone lines.
I do too, because like, what happens if something interrupts the connection? If we're floating in outer space when that happens, because we bounced off a satellite, it could be game ending.
Right.
You know?
Definitely. Travel through lines.
I mean, we don't just travel in phone lines, though. We travel in electricity. So we don't have to... Is there a way to navigate when you're traveling in electricity?
Yes, there are.
Grab a
Winry,
hold
stop.
and wagon train it there then, right? You can
So-
use the plug.
Just logistically speaking, like in order to travel through, the reason why the travel through the phone line works as well as it does.
It gives you a path of energy to follow. I get it.
Yes. Whereas if you just jump into, say, an electrical outlet and just start jumping around trying to follow wires. It's almost like trying to running a highway. You need to know the path of where you're going. The phone line gives you that thing that it's like hitchhiking, like you're jumping on a train. But jumping into an electrical outlet, you're running yourself there. So you need to know the path.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think the phone thing works really well, so it's probably definitely we should do. So find a new phone, call the information, figure out the number that we need to dial to get to a phone in near the Smithsonian, and let's go.
Oakley dokley.
Oakley dokley do.
Okay. So, you do that. You're going to go call information? Is that what I got? All right.
Correct.
So,
Yes.
fine.
Good idea. Leave Club 2 anyway.
Oh, what are you doing with the box of extra bracelets? Well, actually, you know what?
Bring it with it.
Here's what we'll do, because we're missing two people. Thomas and Grayson, they're both here, but they're in cardboard standy mode right now. So I'm just going to say that for ease of things, you can safely leave that case with them and nothing bad will happen. They're just doing non-player character type things for now. Talking with the people that run this nightclub, learning a little bit more about being a Nightbane, doing some research on who Moloch is. You know, they're going to hang back and do this while you guys go out and handle business.
Okay.
All right. So finding a telephone booth is actually stupidly simple. It's the year 2000. They got these things on the side of Wawa's still. Every business has a phone booth, payphone out in front of it. There are payphones on a few of the street corners because Newark is still, it's not the greatest city in the world. It's pretty, not great, actually. I can say that. I grew up in Jersey. I've driven through it many a times. It's not terrible, but it's not really something you would write home about, like, I'm going to go visit Newark. But there are phone booths on many of the street corners here still as well. Finding one is a pretty simple matter. You go in, one of you picks up the phone line, you dial O for operator, and you ask for the number to the Smithsonian. They tell you to throw 75. Sorry, go on.
I was just say, before we actually dial up the Smithsonian and go through, I'm going to write the number of this telephone booth down so that we can use it to get back.
Okay.
Ooh, smart.
Easy peasy. You write that down. Operator gives you the number. You find out it's a 75-cent phone call. Quarters get popped. Numbers dialed, and you guys jump through the receiver yet again, riding the lightning through the phone exchange. Popping out at the front desk of the Smithsonian after hours. You are
All right.
You are in the front. You're like in the front entryway, at one of like the customer service or information desks.
Okay. Did they have literature on the desk that gives us a layout of the Smithsonian, like a map or something?
Oh,
that
yes.
we could pick up?
Absolutely. There are brochures on the desk that have like kind of like a mall directory, but for the museum, a directory of all the different exhibits. What wing is what, where, the major items could be found. Like, hey, there's dinosaur skeletons over here. We have a T-Rex. Over here is World War II exhibits. See the fuselage from this particular plane. So
Here to St. Louis.
Yep. what jumps out of your attention here, because I assume you're looking at this thing trying to find where this box of Tiamat would be, you see ancient world, Sumerian and Macedonian artifacts.
Ooh, that sounds like us.
And of course, there's other civilizations listed there as well, going up to the very first Greek city-states.
If we are after hours in this museum, we should be extremely careful about what we touch, because at bare minimum, they're going to have security on fucking everything.
Well, I agree. In fact, I'm really surprised that we don't find a security guard in here.
There's no telling we might. So we should probably try to be quiet as we can, stealthy as we can, and not make a bunch of noise or set off any alarms.
While you guys are talking about that, you could start hearing the click-clacking of boots coming down or echoing through one of the hallways on the left-hand side of you. Thankfully, at the moment, that is not the direction that you need to go in.
All right.
So let's move away from that and in the direction we need to go in, towards the Sumerian exhibit. Quietly. Should we roll stealth?
I was going to say, are you going quietly?
Yeah, I'm going extremely quietly.
Okay.
I can't speak for anyone.
Yeah.
So
Same.
We're tiptoeing.
that will be the prowl check. If you have prowl, go ahead and roll that.
I do not.
I'm looking. I think I do. Because it sounds like something I would want.
I do know, but I have other things that could possibly be useful in this museum.
Okay. Let me take a look at Death's character sheet, because they may or may not have taken prowl. I know we did do your skills, and we kind of put a focus on more combat type things.
I mean, in my opinion, combat type things and being... Oh, yeah, I have prowl. It says related wilderness skills, hand-to-hand martial arts, prowl, acrobatics, and climbing.
Yep, I see prowl at 25% for you.
Okay. I'm going to write that on the sheet. How do you fucking make a ampersand? No, there it is. Shift 5. Gotcha. Do you have a percentage for all the other things too, so I can put that notated? Because my sheet doesn't have that, the percentages.
It's in the journal, in the Foundry. If you go along the top, you'll see journal, player journals, and you should see your character sheet there. And it has all your skills in there. And I'll have to look at the actual character sheets I sent you as well, because I was pretty sure I included everybody's percentages and exactly what skills they had on those.
You very well may have, and I fucked it up.
That's all right.
I'm going to copy the character sheet off of this and put it and delete my other thing and put this in.
Okay. So when you're ready, go ahead and give me that percentile roll. Isabella said that they had something else that they wanted to try.
I'm just rolling 2d6, right?
No, D100.
I'm sorry. I'm frazzled with the thing.
All good.
Hang on.
92. That is a terrible failure.
Oh, well.
I'm going to roll a die here myself. Roll a bit of a chaos die. I like to inject a little chaos. Okay, so I have my chaos number. Isabella, you said you wanted to try something.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Isabella.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have demon and monster lore,
Mhm.
navigation, archaeology, art, and I can identify plants and fruits. So I feel like English, like other languages and shit like that. So I might be able to.
Can you guys hear Winry giving me lip?
Yes.
A little
Yep. She's upset that I'm not paying attention to her at the moment.
bit. How about you, Winry? Cutie pie.
Yep. What was the question there, Cannabella?
I don't think I had a question. I think I'm
Oh,
just brainstorming. Sorry.
okay. Did you have an idea of something you wanted to try?
I mean, I don't know. Probably either something related to archaeology or art, maybe. Could be useful.
Um,
I don't know.
those would probably become useful when you get those would actually become useful when you get into the wing. But for the current stealth need, that or attempts, those wouldn't play into factor just yet, though. But those would be things I would definitely put a pin in for when you get into the wing that you're looking to go into. Because those will absolutely, they will do something there. They have a good, that's where they'll be useful.
Okay. I don't have anything right now, then just keep tiptoeing.
Okay.
Not to touch things.
Apparently, I'm tiptoeing extremely poorly.
But for all intents and purposes, yeah, you hit such a high number, you take a step down and you have a hard clunk, like a clunk sound, like you like directly planted your heel on the ground. You heard that.
Can I try to figure out where the alarm system would be?
Yes, you could do that. How would you do that, though? Would be a good question.
I have basic electronics, several computer skills, operational, programming, repair, and I mean I want to look for any lines or cords that I would see from like any kind of a alarm system.
Okay.
Like to follow it back to where it's activated at, because I don't think it's going to be where we're at.
No. You don't see anything like directly on you, but here's what we could do with that, because that would that could work quite well. Okay, so go ahead and roll a basic electronics. Let's go with that one.
Okay. Gotcha. 44%. So I need below a 44. And of course, I don't get it.
You don't get it. Okay, but what you are able to get from the it's not all is lost. It's not a complete failure. You are at least able to spot what looks like an alarm panel near the door, but you don't see anything indicating, like, you don't see where wires or anything go. You're just like, hey, that looks like that could be an alarm panel over there, or the thermostat.
Okay.
Coin flip as to which one it is.
Okay. Can we see the light coming from the guard that we hear? Because I'm sure he has to have since it's all night, I bet he has are there any kind of lights on in here?
Just the emergency lighting and the nighttime lights, the main running, like, like the business open lights, those are all turned down. But they do have, like, the nighttime passive lights on.
So he would have a flashlight that he's walking around with checking.
Yeah, he's got the flashlight, and if you look down the direction where the sound was coming from, you can faintly see the bobbing light of the flashlight.
All right. Does it look like it's coming quickly?
Nope, it looks like it's moving at just a normal pace of speed. Not quickly, but not slowly.
I'm going to normal space. I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to be normal about this and not be like quick, or I'm not trying to be stealthy or anything. I'm just going to walk over to the that box and check and see what it is.
Okay. It is a alarm panel.
All right. I am going to try to disarm it.
Okay.
Is that another basic electronics, or?
I'm going to actually give you computer operation for that one. However, I will give you this. If you, because it's set to, God, I can't remember what they call that setting on alarms. Like, the doors are locked and there are people inside, so the alarm is set. So it's not going to register, like, motion inside and set the alarm off. At least not in certain zones, right? Because it's expecting movement to be there. So if the door's open, the alarm will go off. Whatever setting that is. I can't remember what that's called. But if you... Yeah, if you do know at least that if you mess up this roll or this attempt at disarming it, there is probably a 50-50 chance this sets the general alarm off.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I will avoid that.
Okay.
I will shut the door back on it and start heading the direction of where we're supposed to go.
Okay. So you guys make your way through a couple wings of the museum. Occasionally, you hear the footfalls of what you could assume is a night watchman. You see the flashlights kind of bobbing down different hallways. They're always just far enough away that it's not too much of a concern. You're able to carefully navigate your way and avoid them. As long as you don't make any loud noises or set any alarms off, you should generally be okay at the moment. You're able to you get to a point where you see it's kind of like a doorway, like an archway in one of the halls, and it says, ancient civilizations. And going through it, you start seeing different sculptures and artifacts like spears, broken pottery, statues. There's a little thing in the middle. It's a glass case, and it has coins and little scraps of cloth on there. And they have little plaques underneath them that say, this is where this came from, what year this is suspected to be from, which civilization the archaeologists think that they found, think who owned this based on, the best available scientific information at the time. And it doesn't take you too long, and you come up on what looks identical to the box that you found in New Mexico. It's sitting in one of those glass cases, and it has the lid opened. And in there are 5 different daggers, each one with a different colored hilt. And this is made from the same looking type of stone and metal as the bracelets that you have. The colors for these are your standard primary colors. So think the chromatic dragons from D&D. Tiamat has a head for each one. Same kind of motif going here for the daggers.
It has a glass case around it. Is the case wired?
Oh, you could safely assume that it probably is.
Okay.
And can I see if I can see the? Is it up against the wall or is that in the middle?
It's going to be in the middle
surrounded
of...
by-
Yeah, it's going to be in the middle walkway, like one of those ones where you can circle around it. So you can have a group of people on all 4 sides looking down. And there's a little blurb in there about, what they think these daggers are. And it's obviously going to be very, very wrong. This would be where the archaeology and the art rolls would actually come into play, Isabella.
Okay. Then let's sniff these out and see what they really are.
You want the low number on the D100.
Good luck.
May the odds be in your favor. They work for us.
Nope.
Oh,
There you go.
There we go. That is good. Was that archaeology or art?
I'm gonna go with archaeology for this one.
Okay. So you peer into this box or this glass case, and you know right away that the write-up for these things is so wrong. They have these things listed as Akkadian. These are obviously Sumerian-style daggers. They have them dated wrong. These things are way older than what the museum has them listed for. And they say that, hey, these daggers were designed and given to some prince on the event of his wedding. And there's no way that could be the case just because you know how old these daggers are just by looking at them. And that prince is from completely the wrong civilization. Those were Akkadians. This is Sumerian. So this, and from all of that, you also go, these have very similar construction properties to the bracelets. They look like they could be made from the same craftsman, or at least, at the very least, the same group of people in the same time period.
Okay.
Like,
So what do you think, Isabella?
I think that these are definitely related to bracelets, and everything that they're saying is completely wrong. Completely wrong. I don't know if they're ignorant or if they're trying to divert our attention to something else, or a false history, because what's here is definitely not true.
Well, that makes sense. That, they would try to subvert us in some way, but we need to get them. So let me check and see if I can find the box to disarm these.
What's your computer operation percentage? Because I have that too. Mine is 57%.
which computer are you talking about? 'Cause I've got several. I've got operations, uh, programming, and uh, repair.
Yeah, you've got way more than me. All I have is just the computer operation.
And I also have basic electronics and stuff like that too. So, um, and the electronics is probably what I'm going to be using because I don't think that I'm not real sure what the computerized if in 2001 or whatever year if computerized if the Smithsonian has that kind of technology. That's up to the
It's probably still largely paper. Smithsonian's like tightly tied to the government, and therefore probably systems like that would change slowly. They'd probably be in some of the professors' offices and things like that, the resident people here, but in general, I'd say it's probably not all computerized.
What was the exact
my
question? I'm sorry.
how technological is this system?
Okay. It's going to be damn near close to cutting edge because it is, like the museum in the country, right? As far as it's state of the art for year 2000, but it's still probably a good 5 or 10 years old at this point. Governments do update
Right.
slowly.
I mean, so does it have like a computer pad? I mean, like a touch pad to type
no.
code?
It has
Or-
like the standard. It does have a pad on it, but it's like the button click pad. It's not like a touch thing.
Right. That's what my thoughts were. That's why I think that it would be basic electronics, right?
Yeah. I guess like God, it's been so long since I've seen one of these things, but you can think of it looks like a fancy dial pad on a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is it is
it's not
electrical,
like-
but it's not like
Right.
digital satellite or anything.
Right. It's not computer like usage. It's not computer operations.
No, like this thing isn't. It might have it definitely has something to send a message outside, like on a phone line, like, hey, the alarm's been tripped, and it like calls the cops or the monitoring station. But that's
Right.
probably as fancy as it gets.
So I'm going to try this. We need to be ready to snatch this, to break this glass. Excuse me. To break this glass and run to a phone and dial out of here as soon as we do this. If I'm not successful, is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
All right.
just as a question,
Mm-hmm.
is there anything else around here that would be worthy of looking at besides just this thing?
I mean, there are definitely valuable artifacts here.
Well, no, but I mean, like, something that Nightbane would be interested in. Like, is this the only kind of this artifact in this area? Is there anything else that looks similar?
So there's a lot of things that look. Okay, so from your understanding, because like you just found out you're Nightbane today, right? You were
Right.
Alistair, the martial arts instructor, last night, and this morning you had transformed for the very first time.
Right.
So, but you've learned a little bit, right? You spent some time at the railroad. You met the resistance. You talked with the Nocturnes for a little bit. And you met the warlords who are out doing something right now that you don't know exactly what that is, and it's probably for the best. So you've learned a little bit about what it is to be a Nightbane. None of that, though, is enough to give you any indication that anything else in this museum is some kind of magical artifact. For as far as you know, we know this box is it because this is the same kind of box that we got out in New Mexico. This is the same Isabel will tell you, yeah, the same people built these things, but it's Sumerian. It's made from that culture. There absolutely are other artifacts in this wing that are Sumerian in nature, made around the same time, that have the same materials in their construction. Do you have any way of sussing out if they are, magical in nature or important to Nightbane? Absolutely not. The only reason you know these are is because you have the original box to go by.
Okay. All right, just making sure we weren't like potentially missing something that would have been important.
Nope, that's a good question.
Yep. Okay. Well then, yeah, I got my running stance and I'm ready to smash that case if the alarm goes off and snatch them.
And mind you, I'm not telling you there isn't something that isn't important. I'm just saying you can't tell if there is or isn't. So you have to use your best caution here on whether or not you want to do anything else beyond what you came for.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if nothing else has this same format of 5 things with these, crystals in them or whatever.
No. Identical format?
Yeah,
no.
I mean,
Construction
that's
style,
the only thing I would go to look for. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's it for me. I'm ready.
All right, I'm going to try to disarm it.
What was
2.
that? A 2.
Awesome.
Holy hell. That is damn near a critical success in disarming. So you do the thing. You get on that pad and you crack it open and you're looking at the wiring and you're like, all right, how does this go? This looks like it goes here. This looks like if I do that. And you do some Mr. Wizard stuff in the panel and the panel goes dark and there's no screaming alarm. You are very sure that you were able to disable that.
Awesome. Now we can open the lid.
No alarm goes off.
Open it.
And let's get this box.
All right. Go ahead and grab it, and I'll put the lid back on.
All right, I'll grab it.
I put the box back.
Oh no, we're keeping the box.
No, I mean, like, I imagine it's like covered in a glass case. So I'm lifting the glass up. You take the case. I put the glass back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all's good. No alarms are going crazy in the building. If you don't hear panicked running towards you, no security gates have come slamming down to isolate any wings. You guys think you've done it. Like you think you're good to go. It's time to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let's
go.
Yes,
it is.
Okay. Here's how we're going to do this escape thing. I rolled a die earlier, and that number came up as a 6. So that means there are 6 guards that are here. That means we're going to do 6 checks in order to avoid them. How I want to do this, because Prowl, not everybody has Prowl, and 25% is very low.
Bad.
Like, it's a low chance. I want to increase that a little bit. Because you were able to disarm this alarm, the guards aren't on alert. So I'm going to say this is a pure luck thing as to whether or not you're going to come across one while they're doing their rounds. If you had set the alarm off, you'd have to deal with all 6 guards on your way out. But
Okay.
you didn't. So the guards are oblivious. They're just doing their rounds. And how I'm going to work this for luck, it's 50-50. So whoever wants to roll the dice, because we're going to say you have to go through 6 hallways in order to get back to any place with a phone, which is going to be the front area. If you get 6 rolls and you call it before you roll it, either you're going to go high or low. Let me know that. High or low. If you make 6 successful rolls, you get out unnoticed. Each roll that is a failure puts a guard in your path that you're going to have to deal with. It's not the guard sees you, but you've come across the guard, and now you have to decide how you're going to deal with that situation.
Okay.
So, who wants to do the first roll?
Tom, your
Or-
luck seems pretty good.
Or you could do a straight prowl roll at 25%. And if you're successful, Alistair will be able to navigate you all through without meeting any of the guards, because that is just such an impressive feat to get a 24 or less on a D100. I'll leave it up to you guys.
I got a 92 the last time I rolled. Are you sure you want me to do that?
I'm not saying I want you to do anything. I'm giving y'all
No,
your
I'm talking
options.
to them. Yeah, I'm talking to them. So I'm willing to roll it if you guys want me to do that. If not, Tom, you seem to have good dice right now, so I'm gonna let you go.
Well, I mean, Cannabella and I were both rolling real good. So
Okay,
I will
okay.
roll. I will roll, but we want low or high.
Whatever you feel is lucky for you at the moment. That's what I want.
All right. I'm going to say high.
Good call.
Holy shit.
So
Nice.
you're going through that
Tom.
first hallway. You hear the clip-clopping of this guard's boots. He's whistling, he's jingling his keys, and you're all able to sneak past him when he's got his back turned, going down the opposite end from you. The next hallway.
Who's rolling next?
Well, you and Cannabella are on fire, so keep going. Cannabella, you want to do this one, or you want Tom to just
Yeah.
keep doing it?
I can
As far as
try.
I'm concerned, you guys can go back and forth. I'm good. I feel like I don't have the luck today. The luck has fleed me.
I'm gonna say, oh my god, I know I'm gonna mess this up. I'm gonna go high.
Okay.
Give it a hit.
Oh, 16. Okay.
I knew it.
So here's the deal. You haven't been noticed by the guard, but you come up to that next hallway. You're just about to go around the corner, and you see the flashlight bobbing towards you. You are going to have to deal with this guard. No matter what you do, this guard is going to come past your pathing. What are you going to do?
I think we should just bonk him, knock him unconscious.
Or maybe we throw like a quarter or something over his head, make him turn around. Decoy?
Distraction? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll hold the bonking as an emergency response. Okay?
Works for me.
Yep.
Right. So, if it comes down to a bonk, I'll bonk, and you guys distract. Good. I pull my sword out and turn it over to the spine for a proper bonk.
Okay.
I'm not trying to bash or cut the man's head in. I just want to bonk him.
I'm gonna be the good GM here and tell you that is still a terrible idea.
Okay.
And it goes.
fisticuffs.
So here's what I would do if it comes down to a physical. You're trying to knock them out. So there is the hand-to-hand combat, like KO if you roll the number, but there's also you have the ability to do a pulled punch. Even though you're just punching, or you're just using the back of your weapon, your Nightbane does substantial damage, more than enough to accidentally kill the guy. So,
Well, I don't have to be in my Morphus. I could be in my facade, right?
that is true. You could be in your facade, and that would make it less damaging by far.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't thinking of turning
Okay.
into a werepanther thing and bashing the man's head open. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well,
I just
sometimes.
want to give him a nice sharp pop right on the side of the head and put him in dreamland. You know,
Hey, man,
not the morgue.
I'm just saying.
No. I'm glad you said something because I would have felt really bad if I killed that guy. He's just a guy doing a job, man. He doesn't need his head caved in because he's in my way.
Yeah. Especially
Mark
since
on
he's
your
not like
calendars.
actively trying to harm you.
Yeah, that too. But I mean, mark on your calendars. I opted not to murder.
I am going to mark that on the calendar because this is a rare occurrence for
It's not
you.
gonna happen for another year, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's just a guy. Look, I'm just a guy who's going through some crazy shit. He's just a guy. I don't want to murder the guy. He didn't do anything to me.
So I want to, like I said, I want to try to toss that coin to make a noise to cause him to turn around.
Yeah.
Moving in this
So
direction.
that is Winry. Stop, baby girl. That is definitely something we can do. How do we want to do that? You're going to throw a coin, and you're going to not be noticed, and you want it to make some noise down the hallway. All right.
Right.
Give me an attack roll. But obviously you're not trying to hit the guy, right? We're just trying to throw a coin to hit something down the way. So give me an attack roll with a target, and you get all your bonuses of 13. So you just need to get a 13 or better with all of your bonuses. Winry girl, enough.
On a
With the
on a
bark-
D20, correct?
on a D20. Like, you should have pretty substantial bonuses.
Oh fuck!
Oh,
I
criminy.
hope your bonus is at least
It was
11.
on. What's crazy is it was on a 12,
Yep.
Yeah.
which I would have had. I would have had a good enough bonus to have gotten it over.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
it fucking rolled over on a 2.
Oh, man. So you go to
So what's
stick
your total?
probably like a
Oh,
4.
I'm sorry. I was just. I know 2's bad. I just didn't know what his bonuses was to see if we're fucked or not.
His
Oh yeah, it's not good enough for a. It's not good enough to get it 11 points higher.
Yeah, no, like,
Okay,
you got a
all
plus
right,
2
we're
to
going with,
strike. So that was a 4 in total.
Right.
So you stick your arm out to go throw this coin, and the guy's like, "Who's there?" And a flashlight goes right on your arm, and he comes rushing around the corner. Like, you totally blundered your timing on that. Like, you stuck your arm way out there. I'll give you a bonk try there, Death. He's got no armor on, so you only need to hit a 5 to actually strike this guy. Because before we're trying to hit something that, will cause a distraction. There's stuff down the hall, but now you got the guy like right in front of you. He's wearing a vest, right? Like, nothing major. So you only need a 5 to strike. He's got. I'm gonna roll his hit points real quick.
Yeah, and also I see attack things. Oh wait, maybe it says.
He's got 14 hit points. Death. In regular form, you have +2 to damage in facade. You do not have any bonuses to strike in Morphus.
I have it says +3 pulled punch.
+3
roll
pull
with impact.
Okay, so okay, yeah, so you have a +3 to pull punch. Perfect. So that's what you're going to roll. So you roll a d20, and the +3 will get you to pull the punch.
And I just got to beat a 5.
You just got to beat a 5 on this one. I'm not going to do anything major here with this. I want to keep this pretty simple.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, so, and I know that's probably not the rule. Somebody's going to call me out in the comment section and be like, that's not how that works.
Whatever.
But, I mean,
You made a decision.
I'm making a
and we're gonna
decision
go
on
with it.
this one, right? Like, pulled punch, you know, the ability to control the force of a hand-to-hand attack, usually to reduce the blow to less than killing force. The character can choose to do half damage or quarter damage, or a single damage at all. Single point of damage. Character must declare a pulled punch, and the player must roll an 11 or better. So guess what? You still did it. You still did it. I wanted to make it easier, but you still pulled the punch. How much damage do you want to inflict on this guy?
You know, the game's
I mean, I guess I wouldn't know what his
You don't know what his hit points
HP.
are. I do, and I did roll them in the open. So do you want to do quarter damage, half damage? 1 point I'm going to tell you is probably just not sufficient.
So let's do. Can I do 3/4 damage?
Nope.
No, just a half or a quarter.
Yep.
I guess I'll do half then,
Okay.
because like I said, I don't want the guy to die.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy or anything. He's just doing his job.
Yep. And you're using a blunt attack. You're pulling the punch.
Yeah. It says I have a. Oh no. That's I see what's happening here.
And again, this isn't like the exact rules for knocking somebody out, but
Okay. So I have. Yeah.
3d6
Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, so
SDC restrained punch.
and then I get a +2 damage. So it's 3d6 plus 2. I blast him for 12,
blast him
and
for
I
12.
get 4 attacks per melee.
Well, it's a you go, I go.
Oh, okay.
And this is kind of just like a surprise attack I'm giving you because you were all geared up and ready to go. Since you blast him for 12 and you're just trying to knock the poor guy out, I'm just going to say you pulled the punch. I'm going to say you knock him out. Again, it's not the way the rules are. There's a special knockout thing for hand-to-hand combat. Palladium people who are deep in the rules will absolutely call me out on that and be like, that's not how it works. But I'm telling you how it works because it's my table.
That's right. That is.
Yeah, so you take the back end of your sword, the blunt side, and you smack the guy in the face with it, like, whack. And he just, like, it's like he's just like a stunned fish. And he just pivots on his heels, falls backwards, and just smacks his head on the ground. He's just, like, he is out.
I'm gonna lean down and check his vitals, make sure he's still breathing.
Oh, he's breathing. He's definitely got a knot forming on his head. He is not going to feel good in the morning, and you're a little concerned you probably gave him a good concussion. But he ain't dead, and he's going home to his family.
I'm gonna reach down, pick up his flashlight, turn it off, and put it in my pocket.
Okay.
So when he is back to consciousness, if it's still dark in here, because I don't know how long he'll be out. That's kind of a murky science.
Yeah.
Since I can't guarantee that it'll be out a long time, I'm gonna make it so that he has to navigate this bitch by feel.
Okay.
In order to make him nice and slow, give us plenty of opportunity to get away.
That'll work for me.
And that's my plan moving forward, by the way. Exactly what just happened, and then we move on. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll try the distraction. If that fails, whacking.
All right. Moving on. This is the third hallway. Who wants to do it?
I will. I'm going low this time. Oops, hold on. Oh shit!
Oh man, kind of similar to the last time. You're in the hallway and the lights are coming toward you. Can Isabella, your character does notice something though. This is something that that you notice as you're going through the hallway. You spot an old tapestry on the wall, kind of being used as a curtain to divide the hallway. This is it catches your eye because of your archaeology background, and this is well, not like ancient stuff. This is like medieval European, probably a French It's a French tapestry. We'll call it French because, yeah, I feel like doing the French. And it's in between you guys and the guard. Like, he hasn't crossed that barrier yet.
Let's definitely hide behind it, probably, huh? And maybe do some inspection on it.
I'm sorry, what was that? You're a little muffled.
Sorry, we've got bad weather coming in.
Oh, it's all good.
Is it like big enough for us to like hide behind so the guard can't see us? It's directly between us and the guard?
You get it's directly between you guys and the guard. You get the feeling though that you could possibly use this as a kind of like net trap to get the guard stuck if you had a way to knock it over, like dislodge it from the wall.
Gotcha.
Or if you were to,
okay,
maybe pull it down on top of them. This thing's thick enough and big enough that it's going to take a bit for somebody to get through.
Okay. How high, how high up is it hanging? Is it feasible that we would be able to pull it down quickly and with ease, or do we need to look for, like, I don't know, something like to reach the top of it?
In your human facade forms, it might be a little difficult for you guys to get to and reach, because it's off the ground, and it's it's kind of like serving like a flag kind of thing in the ceiling, like hanging down. But in your Morphous forms, Alistair can absolutely get there because of his jet engines. But all of you could do a running jump and reach it in your Morphous forms. But you also, remember, have your horror factor that the guard would have to roll if they saw you in Morphous. Otherwise, they would be stunned for a brief period of time, unable to react, or just outright retreating.
Okay.
Which also might be worth it to not have to roll and just come up on them and be in Morphous form and run through and freak them out and be gone by the time that they come out.
How high does your horror form need to be for that to be effective?
Any horror factor.
Oh, mine's the highest there is of all of us.
Dude, you good? Give it hell, bud. All right, well, I mean, if you want, we could just go Morphous and book it. We're all dramatic.
I don't mind going Morphous and like pulling this down on top of him.
Okay, we'll go for it. And I'll
all
remain in facade de bonk if it becomes necessary.
Okay, that's fine. I'll
Yep.
go into my Morphous and I will jump up and use my antlers to pull it down on him.
Okay. Let's go ahead and have you roll. Winry. I gotta figure. Your horror factor is what?
Let
thought it was like 15 or something. Or
No, his
14.
horror
18.
factor.
Mine is 18.
I was say his horror
Mine's
factor is
18.
huge,
Mine's the worst of all of us.
or
Yeah,
best,
mine's
depending on
only
how
what-
you classify that.
Look at it. True.
Yeah, Winry, you are being so. I don't even know what the word is for you. You were just so
Needy tonight?
Yeah, like she is just whining like constantly. I feel bad because it's like I'm not showing her attention. And it's not always that I don't show her attention, but it seems like whenever I don't show her attention tonight, it's the end of the freaking world. It's just. God, I feel bad. Because she distracted me from what I was looking at. Dogs have a wonderful way of doing that. Oh, yes, I was going to grab the horror factor bit.
Chart?
It's not so much a chart. I just want to make a call out for it. So the way it works is I'm going to roll a 20-sided die, just like Perry or whatever. And a failed roll means that the character is so overwhelmed they're temporarily stunned. What this means mechanically is they lose initiative. They can't even roll for it. They lose one attack for that entire melee. They are the last person to take an action. And they cannot defend themselves against the first attack done against them. By the second melee, the characters completely regain their functioning senses. So this Night Watchman will be dropped way back to the, all the way to the back of the initiative order. They can't act. So that'll give all of you a free action pretty much to handle the business here. As long as he fails his horror factor. And he needs to get an 18 or better.
Well, first things first is what do I need to roll to try to bring the...
Oh, yeah.
tapestry
Stop
down
that.
on top.
I'm going to delete that. So to bring the tapestry down, we're going to say you just need a standard attack roll. 5 to strike.
Okay.
A running jump as your Morphus will more than hand. Yeah, you got it. With your bonus to strike.
7, yeah.
7 to strike. You're able to grab this thing and bring it down on top of them. And now I'll roll horror factor. Nope, he doesn't get it that time. He is stunned, screaming underneath the tapestry. Like you freaked him the hell out. What the hell was that thing? Mm-hmm. Brian! You assume that there's somebody named Brian.
Muffled.
Again, right next to his head, I'm like,
Yep. Like that sound's not going hardly anywhere, but
oh, okay.
like it's still a good idea to tell him to shut up.
Yeah. I'd be quiet if I were you, bud. You wouldn't want something bad to happen.
And he's just gonna just like whimper underneath this tapestry. Monsters! There's monsters!
And worse. I'm sorry, I can't help myself.
So that's 3 hallways. This guy is going to be able to act here, though. Like he unless you do something to knock him out, like he's going to be able to act. But I also did hear you say something like you guys were just going to barrel through at this point. Like what's the overall plan?
I guess I'm down with whatever. Just tell me whatever you guys want to do. But if we're not going to run, I'll knock this guy unconscious.
We've only got 3 rooms left to make it through.
Mm-hmm.
I say that, you guys just kind of follow behind me and I will try to scare the living bejesus out of the rest of them since I'm already in my Morphous form.
Oh, something else. Just because we haven't played for a while, right? So some things might not be directly in memory. Remember some of the parts of your Morphous, Thomas.
Oh yeah, if they were to flash their flashlight on me, I could blind them, have a chance to blind them.
Okay. And remember,
Also, I have
you can use that offensively as well.
True.
Honestly, if he's like crystalline or something, right?
I have crystals coming out of my body. Yes, and
Is
my
that how you blind them with light bouncing off the crystal?
Yep.
I grabbed that guy's flashlight, so I could use that to purposely bounce lights off the crystal at them.
Okay, we can do that then. We can try to.
Okay.
So let's run and we'll go Morphous. We'll book it, and then we'll bounce lights off crystals and any guards we see.
Okay. Since you're booking it, you're going loud, right? Those hoofs are clunking down the hallway. Like there's no mistaking it. It sounds like there is a
right. There's a horse inside.
Yeah, there's something like so. The only one that's going to be you're gonna have to make it through 3 more people. Let's go ahead and do the first one. And again, we'll say it's a 50-50 chance as to whether or not they make it to you in time for it to matter. And if they do, there's a 60% chance that they're going to be blinded by these crystals now.
Plus the horror factor thing.
Plus the horror factor. So, who wants to roll the dice to see if the next one's going to see them?
Tom's up front.
Sure, I got it. Do we want high or low?
I think we should roll high.
I agree.
All right.
I'm rolling high right now. Fuck balls, bullshit.
Okay.
fucking 100.
I changed my mind. Low.
These dice, that was a
My
4.
A little late.
So you come barreling down the hallway just in time for this guard to be there. His flashlight's out in front of him. The first thing I'm going to roll is horror factor, just to see if he can even react to you. And he cannot. He is stunned like, what the hell is that? But as he's stunned there, his flashlight is going to hit those crystals. And Thomas, if you want to give me a roll on that 60% to see if you blind him. You don't.
Nope, I don't.
But you keep barreling past him. This is somebody you may have to deal with depending on how long you take to dial out.
As he goes past, I will not use my sword. I'll use my Morphous hand and just close my fist and blast him in the side of the head as we're going by. Gone. That's not enough to kill him, right?
Yes, it could be. Because Thomas is running. You're amorphous.
Yeah.
And Daniel's running. That is either way. Okay, so here's the thing. Either way, what's going to happen is you are charging. So you have built up momentum.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, you can do you, man. But no matter what you do, you could pull the punch, and you could say, I'm only going to do half or a quarter damage. But you are in Morphous form. So you do substantial damage. And these guys only got about 15 hit points. So you could still end up killing them on a pulled punch. It's up to you whether or not you want to make that attempt. If you get them down to like 3 hit points, between 3 and 1 hit points, I'll say they're knocked out, even though it's not the standard knockout rule. But if you go over that and they reach 0, they dead.
Shit.
And I mean, you will know that you killed them too. This isn't going to be nebulous. Like, it's going to be enough because if you're open-handed, your claws are going to hit them. Like, these things aren't retractable as far as I remember on a Thylocoleo.
I don't.
And I don't think it's listed on your character sheet either. If it's not listed, they generally just means they're out all the time. Because if this game runs with specific language, so if you have retractable claws, it says they're retractable.
Right.
But I mean, on a restrained punch, right? You do 5d6 points of damage. So the least amount of damage you could do is 5. The maximum you could do is 30. Half of that would be 15.
So let's do a restrained punch. So
I'm sorry,
we'll do
2d6
half
on a
of
restrained
5d6.
punch. I'm looking at your character sheet wrong. 2d6 on a restrained.
That doesn't seem like enough though.
On a restrained? Absolutely. That's you pulling back as much damage as possible. That's you intentionally trying to you're just trying to make contact with a restrained punch. A full strength punch, you're just punching like normal. A restrained punch is you're just trying to connect with the target. It's like a touch attack, almost, in D&D.
And a power
Kind
punch
of.
would rip his head off.
A power punch would send his head bouncing down the wall, down the hallway like a basketball.
I mean, the Jason Voorhees thing kind of makes me want to do that, but I'm not going to do that. Where Jason 8 takes my hand, punches the dude's head off. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll do a restrained punch,
okay.
and it says.
And because you're charging them, I'm going to give you a 60% chance to knock this guy over.
Okay. So 2d6 then?
Roll your 2d6 and I'll roll your attack. You just got to get a 5 or better. Then 2d6 for damage. Did you?
5 to So it says bonus Morphus, initiative +1, +5 strike, parry, dodge.
Yeah.
+6 it says roll, pull, punch. So I get a +6 right now?
+6 on your pulled punch, yeah. Remember, you need an 11 or better on a pulled punch.
Okay, so I'm rolling a 20-sider +6.
Yep, you're rolling a 20-sided, adding 6 to it. And you need 11 or better. Full in. +6. That's an 11 or better. Roll 2d6.
Yeah. And then I add plus. What do I add to that? The bonus damage?
You add your regular damage to that.
So +2.
That's in Facade. Are you in Morphus?
I'm in Morphus, yeah.
+15.
Yeah, see, I'm having trouble finding that on this sheet. Like,
We'll
It's not
remake
where
your
I-
sheet. We'll remake your sheet tonight because I have it in the character journal underneath the combat section.
It's that under
yeah,
Morph-
I'm looking
yeah,
at it
Morph-
on the character journal, and it's still like hard.
It
for
says
me to
it says
make
+2 damage Facade hand to hand, +15 hand to hand damage in Morphus.
So 2d6 +15.
Yeah.
Can I roll and pull it even more and do 1d6 +15?
No.
Oh well, I apologize, friend. You might die.
Remember though, you can also
Yes, roll garbage. I might not have killed
18. Okay, here's the thing. Remember, you could do a quarter damage. You could do half damage.
half damage, please.
Half damage. So
I
you did
want
9 points of
man,
damage.
like,
And you knock this guy off his feet. Okay. So you give this, you're riding past and you put your hand out and you do this, like, you just try to, like, make contact with him and, like, rip your hand backwards as you hit him. Kind of like if you were to stick your hand out the window in a car and it's going really fast and the wind catches it and your hand flies back and you kind of play with the wind while you're driving. You do one of those slaps, like, to the guy's face. And as soon as you feel your hand connect, you move your hand up so you don't follow through, but that is enough to send this guy flying backwards. His head smashes down on the floor, and he's just down there holding his head. Looking back, you know you messed this guy up. He's not dead, but you know you messed this guy up. Like he's not.
He's down.
Yeah. I mean, not only was he, scared out of his mind, because
You gave him Dane damage.
yeah, he didn't get stunned by the lights. Like he was able to duck out the light, but as soon as he brought his eyes back up, that hand was just right there, and it just hit him right in the face. This big furry paw, and it was just poof. Like it was gnarly. All right, that's 4 hallways down, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Next one. See if you look out and you're faster than this person is coming down the hallway, because now they've heard some noise and they are moving that way.
Okay, what do we need to? Is it to change the percentage or anything?
I'm still gonna go 50-50. We're gonna keep it fair.
I'm gonna say low this time.
Okay.
Fuck me.
Same thing basically as before. You're barreling down the hallway and this guy slides around the corner like, what the hell is that noise?
And I say boo.
You say boo. I'm going to go ahead and roll his horror factor. He is just stunned by what he sees in front of you. Like he freezes and that flashlight comes up and it hits your body, reflecting lights off of those crystals. Go ahead, roll that number. Okay, it doesn't stun him, but you're just getting past him. Death, are you going to try and clothesline this guy as well? Isabella, are you going to do anything to this guy, or are you guys just going to keep running past him? He's stunned for a good 15 seconds. Time-wise, 15 seconds. Now, think of how fast you're moving as well.
As we're moving and we see this guy, does he have a gun?
They do have guns on their belts, but he doesn't have it out.
Yeah, I'm going to hit him. Yeah, I'm going to hit him. We need a second to pick up a phone, dial a number, and it connect.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move through, I assume, in procession. I imagine that takes a few seconds. I can't have this dude
one melee round
running up and shooting.
Yeah, 15 seconds for you all to jump into the phone once it's dialed.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Well, then
They're standard
we don't
actions.
need to hit him then. Yeah, if we don't need to hit him, then I'm not going to hit him. I'll just leave him stunned.
Last one. Who wants to do it?
I think I'm doing this one. Fuck.
Okay.
High, low.
Let's have.
I'm feeling low. I choose low.
Okay. Low.
Oh,
Oh no!
God, fuck it.
Okay.
Fuck these dice. They keep fucking me.
So you have made it to the main reception area, and you're skidding to a stop. You're in the process of slowing down the skid to a stop, and that last guard is right there in front of you. I'm gonna go ahead and roll his horror factor. Yeah, no, he is stunned from horror factor. Thomas, go ahead, give me that blind roll. Winry, chilled out. 53. Yes. You blind this guy. That flashlight hits. He's like, huh? Like, you have this undead looking woman. You have this weird ass werecat with jet engines and this crystalline weird looking centaur. And he's just like craps his pants. Flashlight hits. It's almost at the same time, and he's blinded. His arm goes up over his face. He drops his flashlight. He kind of skitters backwards a bit. He's not functional. You guys have ample time to dial the phone and get out. Like, you don't have a lot of time, right? You can't dilly-dally, but you do have enough time that you can dial the phone and jump back in and pop back out at the street corner at that payphone. It is now going to be 10 p.m. in game. It's probably about like 11 something for you guys over there too, right?
11:26.
11:26. And I think that this is a good stopping point for this part.
Okay.
What I want to do though is experience. I'm going to do this in the XP tally because experience is pretty easy. Okay, for tonight, let's tally up experience. Let's got to get to the XP chart.
This is the thing we have to like track, right, to figure out what we get.
Yeah, I'm going to ask the questions. You're going to answer them as a group. If you guys agree, we're going to get the points for that section. If you disagree, you're not going to get the points for that section. I just need to find the XP chart.
Right now, whatever we get, and then do. Oh, you know what? Let's do it on the calculator. That's even better.
Experience points 43.
Okay, I got a calculator up.
All right,
I'll add it
experience
for it.
points. All right, so I'm going to ask the questions. Ready? First question. Did you guys perform any skills, successful or not? I remember quite a few skill rolls. Do we know about how many times you did that? Honor system.
I know I tried prowl once, and then I used none of my other like climbing or acrobatics, wilderness survival.
4 times. I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was about to say we did it 4 times. You did your prowl. I did 2 basic electronic skills, and Isabella did her archaeology.
4?
Didn't she do it twice though? Because she did it once.
Oh,
in
she did do it.
museum.
Yes,
and
she did it
once
twice.
with the bracelets,
So 5 times.
Times.
We did skills 5 times.
All right,
Yeah.
so that'll be 125 points.
125 plus.
All right. Any clever but futile ideas?
Search this museum for other important items.
I don't know if I would call that like an experience-worthy thing, and you didn't really search.
We tried to get out without getting seen.
Okay,
That did not work.
I like that. I also kind of want to give you the points for this for the initial, hey, where is that security panel? And deciding not to open it. Actually, wait, no. So it's good. We'll do 125 for that. But then I want to do a clever or useful idea that it doesn't necessarily have to be successful or not. And I want to give you 100 points for that for that alarm panel situation in the beginning.
Okay.
That's one I absolutely want to give you guys.
So we're at 350.
Yep. You guys didn't have any critical plans or actions that saved anybody's lives.
No.
Nope.
Well, I didn't hit those dudes in Morphus. That saved their lives.
Hold that thought. Hold that. Put a pin in there.
You got.
There was no critical plan or action to save the entire group or many lives. Again, pin that one earlier. No self-sacrifice.
No.
Did you guys avoid unnecessary violence?
No.
Hugely.
I think you guys kind of did. Like, the violence that you did, I don't think I actually really rate it as... I'm thinking violence in the way of, did you guys try to kill anybody?
Oh, okay.
Well, no.
So when you did avoid some of the violence by making a couple checks. So because you had to interact 4 of the guards?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and give you 2 points for avoiding unnecessary violence. If you had gotten through, if you got through all 6, I was going to give you 600, but we'll give you 2 for 200.
Oh,
200.
okay.
What about deductive reasoning and or insight?
I would say both on the archaeology and on the computer stuff. Plenty of deductive reasoning was happening there.
Okay, yeah, no, Cannabella did have a lot of good things going on with that. And the computer stuff was also really good. Let's go ahead and do 400 total.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a 50-point bonus for playing in character.
Okay.
Killing or subduing minor menaces. You definitely subdued minor menaces. Those guards are minor menaces.
Yeah. They're not a threat to us. It's just causing the stink.
Yeah,
Problem,
like
so.
you had to deal with them in some capacity. You used good judgment while doing that. So let's go ahead and do 100 points because you had to deal with 4 of them, and we weren't able to sneak past them. So 2 for avoiding unnecessary violence, 4 for subduing minor menaces, and that'll be the total for the experience for the night. What'd you get?
1,100.
That ain't bad.
No, not at all. Mark that on my sheet.
It's 1,100. 4. I was gonna put that in your journal, Thomas, underneath XP tally.
Okay.
All right. I do think this is where this is a good stopping point for the night.
I agree.
Yeah, if we have one more game like this one where we get 1,100 points, we'll level up.
Yeah. And like I said, we got like 2 more sessions on this arc. 1 to get the last case, and then the final showdown with the Man in Black.
Yeah, I figured that was coming.
But yeah.
I mean, the guy who I put under a trash can?
Yep.